Nelly Furtado, and I'm here with BuzzFeed to answer 30 questions as quickly as possible. Wish me luck. That's a good question. Are the sparkly belts already back? The skater belts with the sparkly rhinestone. The dog tags that are sparkly? Not yet. You know what was kind of cool is kids used to make me bracelets out of toothbrushes. You would get a toothbrush, melt it, bend it, cut the bristles off or burn the bristles off, and then you would wear the bracelet. Yeah, probably just the sort of unattainable beauty standards of the aughts. I would not want those to come back. The Grammys in this cardboard box inside the foam they sent it in. I sometimes take it out to make sure it's okay. I don't watch TV. I listen to music. Oh, I like Emily in Paris. I'm waiting for season 4. Hey, and there's some other fans here. I love Emily in Paris. I think it's a great show. It's such a feast for the eyes. I grew up in the Melrose Place era as a teen, and it was produced by the same producer, Darren Star, so there's always that twist. There's always like a cliffhanger, and I like those cliffhangers. They keep you watching, and it's like coming back for more. What's your favorite song to perform live? Oh, I'm Like a Bird is my favorite song to perform live. It always hits home for me, and the crowd always sings along, and it's like this magical moment where everybody has their hands in the air, and they're all singing the song back at me, and it's just super, super fun. It never gets old for me. What are 3 words that would describe it? My new album, 7, if I could describe it in 3 words, it's passion, joy, and pain. How would you describe the album's aesthetic or vibe? The album does not have an aesthetic. I made 500 songs, and I picked 14, and I called it 7. So it's a collection. I definitely made this project like as fun as possible. I spent a lot of Friday nights just kind of partying with my friends, hanging out in the studio, just making music, writing the music. And so 7, it was very hard to whittle down 14 songs from 500 pieces of music. It was like just mining for gold, and I ended up finding it. And pop music to me is this clear vocal coming through the speakers, unapologetically and shamelessly. Do you have a favorite process in the album making experience? I basically come from a culture of spontaneity. My parents are from the Azores Islands in Portugal, and I grew up watching my dad jump up on stage at local events where you'd sing desafio, which is a freestyle style of music, and you just make it up off the top of your head. So in the studio, I started doing that when I was about 3, making songs up. So I decided this time around to just turn the microphones on for every living, waking, breathing moment in the studio. So while I'm writing, I can hear myself as if I'm at a live show or like in a club or something. So I just turn the music up really loud and I freestyle over it, and that's how I make a lot of my music. For someone that's been in the industry for a good while, do you still get pinch me moments? I had a pinch me moment recently. I went to Stockholm, Sweden. I hadn't played a show there in over 15 years, and there were like 16, 17-year-old girls in the front row with my name sharpied on their foreheads, singing all the words to my songs, and it blew my mind. It was like being in the Matrix. I was like, how did this happen, and how did I get here? And I feel like my first album came out 25 years ago. Oh snap, it did. It's like the most meta, blessed up experience. First off, not to brag, but I was a teenager at the mid-90s. I try to make you less jealous of that, but it was fun, man, growing up listening to that music and wearing those clothes for real. And then in the early 2000s, being able to put out music. And then now, watch everybody like relive that music and love it up so hard. I feel so lucky. I have a song from one of my albums that came out in 2013. It's called Big Hoops. This DJ from the UK, Gorman Rain Radio, they remixed it, and it's called Talk About. It's like, talk about, do na. It's like so fast. Every time we perform it, like my dancers and I were just like, okay. We're just like keeping up with the song. It's fun, but it's hard. Do you have something you want to give most wild for? People get really lit to Maneater, and I've used fire in the Maneater video, but I also use pyro on stage during Maneater, and right now I got it like song number 2. So it's kind of the first time I walk out closer to the crowd and the fire comes on and people are just like, yeah. Tuvalu is a really special gal. She's not only gifted and talented, but in the studio she opened her mouth and it blew me away. Those are those times where you're humbled by singers when you do collaborations, and that was one of those times where I was like, wow, she can sing. And she also has this badass, feminine, unbridled energy that is also so fun and light. It's just such a cool mix of energies that she has within her. When we were shooting the video for Love Bites, we actually forgot that we were in a music video. We thought we were at a club. It got so surreal where we thought we were just dancing, and the director was like, can you try to sing some of the lyrics? And we're like, oh yeah, we're shooting a video.
Who was one of your first musical inspirations?
Well, Mary J. Blige is one. When she first came out, was like, oh my God. She had the 2 braids and the little, like, the hat. She was so strong. She did not care. Like, she just was so in tune with her inner voice and her inner message. And I had her poster on my wall, and I'm still a Mary fan to this day. I would say Be Happy. I think it's from her second album. Hits for me every time. It's one of my top 10 favorite songs ever. Prince is one of my other favorite artists. Sidebar, like, I call my album 7. One of my favorite Prince songs is called 7. Got a chance to open for him and meet him and see him live 3 or 4 times, and I just feel really lucky. And my favorite Prince song is called Power Fantastic, and it's just really otherworldly. I have a lot. Oh my God, there's some Canadian artists that are so sick. Like Nemesis is one of my favorites right now. She has such a unique voice in the world. Also, my very dear friend Mustafa, coming out with something new the same month my album's dropping. Known him since he was like 16 years old and seen him just grow into something so phenomenal. He's got such a message. I really love Shy Girl from the UK. I love her sound. I have another song with S.G. Lewis on my album. Dom Dolla produced another song on my album. Oh, I love Beabadoobee. I really like her new stuff she's putting out on her new album. My mom. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked me this. I love eagles. I love all kinds of birds, but eagles. I love eagles.
Who would you cast to play you?
Apparently Idina Menzel and I look alike. I mean, I can't sing like her, so it's kind of a long shot, but maybe she would like dumb down her voice just to play me.
Do you have anyone that you want to share?
I play a little trombone. Do you have one? No, I do. I grew up playing trombone. I can casually shoot some hoops, not really that well. And I used to run 400 meter in high school.
Do you have any plans to go on tour?
Yeah, I do. I've been touring for the last 2 years, doing a lot of festivals around the world, reconnecting with my fans and playing what they want to hear. Just full circle, like it's my own mini Vegas show, a nostalgia show. Of course, there's new tracks in there too. That's what's great about it, that there are new tracks to play that people are excited about. So yeah, I will be coming to a city near you, and I can't wait to see you again.
What do you do online?
I like to go to the dance studio with my friends, and we'll just book like some dance space, and we'll pick a song we love, and we'll put together like some choreography. And it might end up on TikTok, it might not. I have inattentive ADHD, so choreography, sitting in a dance studio for 2 or 3 hours doing choreography kind of like resets my brain.
What's the scariest thing you've ever done?
Oh, no skydiving, no bungee jumping. Moms don't do scary shit for fun. Being a mom has forced me to stay in the moment, you know, in a cool way. Forced me to be present in a cool way, so I like that part of it.
Has there been any celebrities or just anything about like,
They sometimes hear songs they like, and they'll ask me like if I've met the singer of the song, but they like so much music that it's hard to keep up. I'm trying to think of like something. You know what? They were pretty little at the time, but I had to take them to Dua Lipa, and it was their first concert, and they thought she was really cool.
are there any other instruments?
I started playing ukulele when I was about 7 or 8 years old, and I would perform Portuguese songs because my parents are Portuguese. The first song I sang with the ukulele was Adeus São Miguel, which is like Goodbye São Miguel. It's like an immigrant like folk song. And then I learned a trombone and then guitar. And I'm known to program an occasional drum machine in the studio and like synths and bass lines, but just like I don't do it at home. Just like if the stuff is out, I sometimes dabble. Growing up in my family, we loved watching SNL on Saturday nights. Every skit, Toonses would drive a car and drive it over a hill. It was only about like this 1 minute skit. So we named our cat Toonses.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Everyone knows you can go down a rabbit hole on TikTok, so sometimes I do that. I might be on a really toxic algorithm, and that could be fun for a little bit. But I also enjoy it just for the creation part of it. Chapel Roan videos, Tynomi Banks. I just did that Euro Cup event, so like soccer stuff.
What's one item on your basket right
My singing teacher told me to make tea with gummy bears. The gelatin is like really good for your throat if you have a sore throat before a show or something. But I also have a strange one, which is like pumpernickel bread. Bread with like almond butter as a snack. It gives you like a lot of energy before a show. So then I throw a banana in there. It's like, I'm good.
What's in a wild banana?
One time I was playing one of my first shows in Mexico City on my first album. And I had a dressing room that was on the 3rd floor of a theater that we were playing, an auditorium. And I was chilling, getting ready for the show, having a snack, and I heard a tap at the window. It was like tap, tap, tap. So I look up and there's a guy outside the window, just kind of chilling like it's normal to be outside the window. And then I opened the window and he was like, Nelly, quiero un autógrafo. I want an autograph. And he had my CD and I was like, okay. And I grabbed his pen and I was like, did my signature. And then he's like, muchas gracias. And then he like just left into the night like Spider-Man and I closed the window. You know what? He looked like he had done it before. He must have scaled the building like Spider-Man many times. He like didn't even break a sweat. He was chilling. He's like, yo, can I get an autograph? Thanks, peace out.
What is your love language?
Thank you for asking. Just so everyone knows, my love language is acts of service, one hundo. Really gets me right here. And gifts too sometimes. I like to give gifts. I like you if I got you a gift. That's more romantic though, if I like you.
Who's your auntie you get out the most?
I've definitely like been out at a grocery store and it's like, you're beautiful. And I'm like checking out, you know, groceries. It's weird, but like you notice it when it comes on in a grocery store. You can't ignore it. And when I'm in a club, I always hear Promiscuous. Not gonna lie. And or Give It To Me. One of those two, the DJ will always drop those.
Do you have a go-to tattoo word?
You know what I love? My very favorite thing is bubble tea. I always get an iced jasmine green tea with like no milk or not a lot of sugar and a double order of tapioca. That's my order. I don't know why, but it's like one of my favorite foods. Matcha latte, also for the win. Takeout, I like Jamaican food. It sits well in a takeout container, Jamaican food.
What's something that's not promiscuous but feels like it is?
The way that I collaborate with so many people, it does feel like really promiscuous. Like I'm like, whoa, I'm just like, there's no loyalty. I just work with everyone and anyone. Not to sound corny, but I feel like I just love human beings and I just like, I would write a song with anybody that walks in the door. Like I don't really have any rules. One time I did this thing where I wrote songs with a bunch of strangers who don't write songs at like an art gallery in New York at MoMA PS1. And I sat in a room and people would just come and I'd be like, you know, tell me what dream you had last night. What was your favorite childhood vacation? And then I would just sit with my guitar and start to write a song. And it was weird what happened, but I guess I was just trying to prove that like there's this energy that exists between human beings. I like to bring people together in the studio that I think won't get along to test that love between humans with making music. Thank you so much, BuzzFeed. This has been super fun hanging out with you. My album's out now. It's called 7.